just going to go over the skill tree that I use for my Necromancer. I basically, it's my build is basically for in-game wins. It can go early depending on the people you're playing against. It just depends. This is my setup for my Necromancer. As you can see, he is level 45. I'll get all my stuff done, and as many points as you can get. This is all you can do once you get level 45. So whatever points you see here is what you can get. So I basically centered around these here. These three right here is what I wanted was to get in the end. So I want my basic units and my elite units to do the most damage as possible once I get them leveled up in the game. And I'll have a quick little video on that that's going to be included in here after this. So I want them at max as possible, mainly because I don't want this at max. 2 out of 3 is fine. I want them at max because they can spawn, or you can spawn them faster than your boss. Because your boss has a long cooldown if he dies. If you're playing against people that have like their damage balance bar stuff up, that means he will die really quickly. I had a game just before I recorded this where I couldn't do a goddamn thing. They just smacked the crap out of me. Like, just so bad. I get him up, and he'd be dead within a second or two. I'm not sure if they were cheating or not. I'm still not really too sure. I wish this game had an in-game reporting system, but it's a different story. But anyway, it's a little sus. But yeah, anyway. So don't worry about having 2 out of 3. You don't want that. You want them on these guys, like I said, because you can spawn them in quicker. And then, as you can see, I want all of this to go through. So this is my basic health and everything like that. I want them... I want all that as max as I can get them. And then you get more energy from your dynamic dash. That's the little thing that you use and you scare them. Skeletons attack more frequently. Of course, you want that. And then they don't get any health after being hit by Evil Ash. Any of his attacks, like that's the little grips that he does. Smacking them, punching them, whatever. And then, of course, I spawn in more skeletons when I summon them, which is good. Boss units are more resistant to balance bar damage, along with the balance bar for basic and elite. What this is here is that's your little stun meter, basically, that you have. Once that goes down, your skeletons are stunned and they're basically useless. I just usually, if I'm inside them, like if I possess them, I should say, and inside them's kind of weird. Anyway, if I possess them and they get stunned, I get out of them. They're pretty much done. It's the same thing with survivors. If they have a high balance bar damage, then they're just gonna eat right through it. And also this here is important. Increase the amount of infernal energy received from infernal orbs. So, you know, that means you gotta pick up less orbs to get your damage meter fully filled if you need it. Of course, this is important as well. Portal Authority Elite, along with Basic, that just reduces the amount of energy that requires to summon in these as well, which is what you want. And this is important as well. Increases the speed of infernal energy generated when near an active objective. So that's when they activate like the dagger or the map, the blue circle. If you're inside of that and you're not possessed a skeleton or a player, this bar will fill up crazy quick. It goes zoop and it's full. As long as you're inside that blue circle, it's great. This here tests the time, increases the duration of objective events for survivors while the demon player is inside the objective item's aura. Again, that's when you're in the blue circle. It takes longer for them to capture the objective. If you can force them out of that objective, it slows it down. The less they're inside, the slower it goes. The Necromancer's Warcry effect area. That's when you're using your skeletons. It's the number 2 ability. It's when they take their spear and they slam it down. So it's that little knockback that they can do. So it makes it a bigger area. It's okay. It's not that great, I think, but it's what I use. A little bit of knockback is good, especially if they're trying to do something and I interrupt them. And also, I forgot to put on here, if you need to reset your skills, there's no penalty of doing that either. You can reset as much as you want, as often as you want. There's no penalty on it, at least not yet.
Of Linda, the Savior's lost love. Join us, and we will crush the mortal's last stand.
Okay, so I go for here for traps. I'm gonna get these up to level 3 as possible because it spawns elites units on the traps, and they only work with any new traps you place after you level it. And then Portal Basic, this is what it does here. You get your unit damage and health up to max, is what you want. Same with the elites. There's no different except your portal proximity and portal cast reductions, 5% and 10%. That's it at level 2. And then I start working on my boss, which we want. We want him to be immune to stun, which is max level, which is great. All that there. And then I will start working on possession. That's great. I want to get to level 5 as well if I can. Gives me more health, more damage, and upkeep is reduced. That's my energy. And I go for the passive, and I don't bother with the demon vision as you've seen there. So now we're going to try and find these, because as I was recording this game, I didn't realize my mic was muted. So what I'm doing here is I'm triangulating the location of the survivors. So if you go back and look on that video, I just basically made a triangle from the 2 locations of the map and the dagger. And that's where I'm going to head to. I have it marked on my map. However, I don't really get there. So right now, I notice here in a second that the map piece is right there. I'm going to go there, and I'm going to put traps down. Get my energy here, as you can see. Get as many traps down as I can so I can prepare for them coming over here. So I get my threat level up as well. That's what you want. You want to get that threat level up as soon as possible.
The living have claimed
like I said earlier in the earlier part of this video. The sooner you get it up, the better. These guys were going really hard. I couldn't believe how quick they got like 2 map pieces almost like right away. I think they split up and they were working on it. That's probably what they were doing. So I'm looking for the box right here, which I think is out on this up in the stairs here, but I didn't see it right here. My head set back up, so I wasn't sure. But anyway, I'm just going to keep putting down traps, and then I'll eventually find the little box that's right here. I think there's 2 of them here. So I put down the mini ashes. The mini ashes actually steal items from survivors. The less items they have, the better. The hand, all it does is it just causes damage. That's it. I don't really care about damage at this point. I don't. Like I said, less things that they have, the better. I can't talk straight today. Apparently, I think I have pneumonia and it's still affecting me. So now I'm putting some points into traps, as you can see, and now I'm gonna start heading over towards that marker. That's where I was going. That was like the tip of my triangle that I created. So that's where I'm going right now. And look, right there. So going right, look who I find. There's 2 of them right here. So here I'm doing my demon dash. Boom, 2 of them. And then I get some energy off of that, which is good. Didn't really matter. I just wanted that fear on them just to keep them on their toes a bit. So I'm just continuing putting down traps, and I have another point putting in my traps. So now any new traps I put down, they will spawn elite units. So like I said again, keep in mind, any traps you put down previously, when you get the traps level 3, will not spawn elite units. Only your new ones will. So any of these I'm putting down, not on the tree mind you, but the ones over here that you'll see throughout the game will spawn elite units. And again, here I'm putting down the mini ashes as well. Anything I can do to keep them on their toes. So I wasn't sure where they were going. And they got this car. I figured they were probably trying to get to a map piece, which is my idea, because there's 3 of them right here. So now we're just going to follow them and see where they're going so I can harass them a bit more. I still got 1 point in my threat level as well. So one guy jumped out there, I think. So right here, yeah, there's a map piece. That's that little exclamation point means that there's a map piece. So I'm going in here, I'm going to see if there's any traps I can place. There's not, other than on this box. So I'm going to slap that down on here. And then I'm going to keep going through here, placing more traps down as fast as I can.
Try harder.
So now I'm putting in my portal basic. So I get that going. I'm just going to put a trap there. I put down. Keeps messing with them.
I'll do what I can with this thing.
And then I'm just looking for more traps and energy as we go. Because now they have that dagger is right there, which I wasn't too happy about. I've had it one game where the map and the dagger were all within 100 meters of each other. It really pissed me off. I still won though. But what made me upset was the fact that they got one of the objectives, and then I had to come all the way back because I got exercised out of the area. And they were still right there beside it. I don't know what they're thinking when they thought of that idea when they're making this. So here in a few minutes, they will start doing that dagger. And you'll see what I mean by staying inside the circle to get your energy that I mentioned on the skill tree. So right now I'm just looking for energy and just placing down traps and stuff that I can find once again to get my threat level up. Only one game I've done so far, I had my threat level to max and everything maxed out. I've only done that once. I think those guys are just terrible at this game. I've had games where they've died to the storm, comes in, which was very unusual. I didn't think that was ever going to be a thing. So here they start. See, there's a blooming. So I'm putting my skeleton over here. So it's kind of out of the way, LOS a bit. Not much. And now I'm going to start spawning my guys in. Excuse me. So now I'm just going to start beating them to death. Because I don't have my elites yet. So standing in this circle, when I'm not possessing a player or a skeleton, that bar will keep going up. So there's 2 down. And now I'm looking for the third, this guy here. Smartash. And they're 4th. I have no idea where he is at this point. I didn't realize he's here. So these guys are just really screwed. This guy's AFK or whatever he's doing off by himself. He has like 3 pieces of armor, almost 3 pieces of armor.
I liked her.
And so I realize he's not here. I'm gonna get to the skeleton and sing so I stop wasting my energy. Because now they're dead. The dagger objective is start, so I'm not getting the energy. So now I'm just gonna put down other traps. And just putting my points into my stuff. So there's that. So now I get all the good stuff from my elites. And my basics, I mean. So I'm getting points as they die off of that. I'll get more here in a minute. So now I'm trying to figure out what this other fella is. And in the game, I don't realize what happened. I didn't realize until I was going back and looking at the video and I realized my mic wasn't on. So now I got 2 more points to spend. I'll use those in a second here. Here we go. So I'm getting my elite up and then my last points into the boss. So now I'm looking to figure out where this guy is. I figured he thought he was A-OK for a minute, which he was, I guess. So I'm here. I didn't notice the vehicle driving towards where we're at right now. And there he is. I didn't see that. I'm just not awake yet. It's early in the morning. Anyway, eventually I clue into what's going on. So now he's basically screwed. So I spawn in my other flute guy, which I fat fingered as usual. I always do that. I'm trying to spawn in my main skeletons. So he sits all those traps, there goes all of his armor. Now he's just, you know, I don't know how I didn't hit that, but anyway. So again, I'm not regenerating energy here at all because the dagger wasn't started. He's just trying to get his guys up. That's all he's doing. So he dodges that. Now I gotta remember to start using the heavy attacks on his skeletons and stuff. So the 2 button, as well as what I mentioned, as well as the war cry, that's the knockback that the skeletons can do. And it causes a little bit of damage, not much. He dies here when it comes around the corner. There's some elites coming out, and right here, he dies on this game. It's like a 8.5-minute game or something like that. That's it. Game's over. My streak continues. It's 11 wins now. Alright. That's that. That's how it worked. It was not what I thought it was going to be for gameplay, but that's it.